there was a rally, and Donald Trump lined his ass off again in his rally, the latest rally. Of course, so Trump held a rally in Iowa where he tried to take sole credit for improving the lives of black people when it comes to unemployment and poverty rates. And he said, oh, just everything about black people is just glorious now that I'm president.
American unemployment has reached its lowest rate ever recorded in the history of our country. And African American poverty has reached its lowest rate ever recorded. And Kanye West, who gets it, and Big Jim Brown, how do you think he'd do in the NFL today? Bum, the greatest. But they're coming over to the White House very shortly. We're going to have a little lunch and talk about it, but they get it. How do you win when you hear those numbers? Because the Democrats for 100 years have been promising African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asians. They've been promising everything. Nothing happens. Here we are, less than 2 years, the best employment numbers, the best numbers they've ever had in virtually every category, every category.
Okay, y'all. If you want to see what a lying white man looks like, that's Donald Trump. Okay, first and foremost, he said every category, black folks are doing better. Y'all, black home ownership rate hit a high of about 60.9% in the 2000s. It is below 45. That, to me, don't sound like we're just doing so great. 70 years ago, there were 1.9 million black-owned businesses in America. 1.8 million black-owned businesses had one employee. Today, there are 2.6 million black-owned businesses. 2.5 million have one employee. When we had 1.9 million black-owned businesses, they were doing an average of $110,000 in revenue a year. Today, with an additional 700,000 black-owned businesses, they're doing an average revenue of $54,000. I'm sorry, please, Joseph, tell me how things are just going so great. And I really got to have you, Barbara, and Cleo address this here. If Trump is just so amazing for black people, why won't he come talk to the NAACP and come talk to the Urban League or go talk to Rainbow Push or National Action Network or the National Association of Black Journalists? Why won't he sit down with members of Black Press? See, I figure if it's all gravy, oh man, you should be willing to talk to people. But no, you go to one of the whitest states in America and tout how great black folks are doing.
Well, it's I don't even know where to start. I mean, honestly, he won't go to any of those organizations because he knows this stuff is not true. Right. And there are two words that keep him from doing that: reality check. All right, number one. Number two, these are statistics, made-up statistics for white people. They're not for black people, because black people would say, listen, what are you talking about? This is nowhere true. Go down to Decatur, Alabama. Go down to Jackson, Mississippi. Go even to the South Bronx. Go anywhere, and you will find that we still have very real, very serious challenges as far as black unemployment is concerned. And even if you put those numbers in context, even if you assume that he's telling the truth, black unemployment has historically been double that of whites. So even if he is telling the truth, and we have a 3 percentage point unemployment rate among America broadly, that still represents a 6% unemployment rate in African Americans. So that's roughly, one out of every, I get the math wrong, but anyway, the point is there are still problems in the fact that we still have an unemployment rate that's double that of whites. He's making this stuff up. It's not true. He doesn't want to come clean on it, and it's not for our consumption anyway.
But why should he come clean? What he's done has worked. One thing you can't deny about Donald Trump is that he's been consistent. He's doing the same thing he did before he became president, and before I, among others, predicted he would become president. Why should he do anything different? It works. And also, there's something that we may or may not be realizing here. On the way over here, I was in an Uber, and I was talking to a young lady, a black woman, about politics, and she talked about how she appreciated how passionate and real Donald Trump was, as opposed to how stoic other presidents have been. She appreciates his emotionality, his realness, and not that I think that's sane or something that people should actually follow. The bottom line is that the optics, the passion, the quote-unquote realness that he says, because people don't do any research. And when when he was running for president, CNN and other places would line up some of his lies. The man became president of the United States anyway. So it works.
But Leo, you nailed it. And I've heard the people say, I know he lying, but he speaks his mind.
But that, Roland, that's
It's like,
because...
wait a minute, it's like, have y'all lost y'all damn mind? It's like, I know he full of it and he just making stuff up. But he gonna tell you what's on his mind. Like I keep saying, dude, I'm in Los Angeles right now. I can walk out this building and I can run into a babbling idiot on the street who gonna be hollering, yelling, cussing, anybody walk by. He's speaking his mind. I don't want his ass to be the president.
But Roland, you got to remember that the whole basis of this country was built on lies.
Thank you.
You know, the narrative, the popular narratives about the United States are all lies.
Yes.
You know, they don't talk about the, genocide and the slaying and the massacres and the brutality and, the fact that police only exist in this country and patrol because of slavery. I mean, there's so much they don't want to talk about. So what he does is he makes their souls feel good because he gives them lies that makes people comfortable about being racist so that people can go up to, Latinos and holler at them if they're speaking Spanish, who can call the police on a black man because he's babysitting 2 white kids and he's driving them in a car. I mean, these are the kinds of things that he gives credence to. He makes it palatable. He makes it acceptable. And that's where the danger is, because he's speaking in all this coded language. He's playing on all this racial memory. He's coming up with ways of making white people not understand and not feel like they got to fight against racism. And so we have to bring that battle. We have to bring the truth.
But the person that I was
Go ahead, Cleo.
The person that I was talking to, and the majority of people that I talk to, are black.
Yeah, but she said.
And I'm not really talking about him feeding the fire to white folks. I'm talking about black people who said that he's so real.
Yeah, but look at his approval ratings for blacks. It's not that good.
Look. We just got to go ahead and say it. It's some ignorant black folk.
Right.